I'm trying to. Hi, everybody. I'm just trying to go live on multiple. Let's just see if this works. Let's see. Live. Okay, so I'm going to be doing a full moon transmission. And does that work? I don't know. Hey, everybody. I don't know if you can see me sideways or the right way. So let me know on Instagram if I need to turn the camera around. I can't tell. So I'm broadcasting live on YouTube right now and on Instagram. So you may see me looking both places. I'm just trying to get my equipment kind of settled because I've never gone live on two platforms at the same time before. So just bear with me. And hold on, I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Okay. So once I decide to go live, all my tools want to be a part of the transmission. All my stuff wants to step in and be included. So I'm managing all the plants that wanted to show up today, in addition to all the crystals that wanted to be on display. And I do have something special too as part of this transmission. And I have a new little dresser thing in my studio, which lately I've been finding all sorts of cool stuff not out by the trash, but people get ready to throw stuff away. And I'm like, don't throw that away. I love it. And so someone was going to throw this in the trash. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it, except some little leg on the bottom broke off. And I was like, it was some little old lady. So I was like, I'm going to save you from having to pull that out to the trash. I'm going to take it off your hands. And they're like, oh, okay, come take it. They didn't care. So this is our full moon in Taurus. And it was actually completely full, or however you want to say that. Earlier this morning, I drew a bottle cap for our thing. Oh, it's always backwards. It says believe in miracles. It's believe in miracles. This is my kombucha bottle caps. And before we get into the transmission, I'm just going to clear our space a little bit. So two things wanted to show up for this. One of them is, of course, Palo Santo, which this is a special little piece gifted to me by Doug Libby. And you're going to get to see the initiation of the drum that he made for me will be initiated in this episode. So that's this drum right here won't be played for the first time, but it'll be played for the first time live in this episode. And it has very special intentions for it. And so we're giving everybody some Palo Santo. That's the only thing about Palo Santo. It's just hard to keep it lit. So we're just clearing our space. And let me just check in here really quick with Instagram because I don't see anybody on. Let me just type something in the full moon blessings and reading. I don't know. It shouldn't have to be sideways. But anyway, all right. So like I said, bear with me. I'm working with a couple of pieces of new equipment. This is the first time I've gone live on my laptop. The first time I've been able to get the dang webcam to work. So there were so many settings that had to change. Let me just type something in here. Okay, so stay tuned. I'm going to get all of this together. And we're going to do a reading for everybody that's on, like a reading for the general collective. We're going to do a light language transmission. And then depending on how much time is left, we may be able to draw bottle caps for folks that are on. And There. Okay. So I drew an overall bottle cap. These are just kombucha bottle caps for those of you that aren't familiar with how I do this. I drink a lot of kombucha. So for a while, the brand Live had like these cool sayings on the inside of their bottle caps. And they kind of still do now, but they redid them to like some sort of screw off top. But I kept all those. So I have them all in this bag. And I just kind of do that for everybody. So this is Believe in Miracles. And that is the overall theme of this reading for today. So I've set the intention for healing, for you to get the messages and the guidance that you need from this transmission, whether you watch it now, whether you watch it in the future. It doesn't matter when you're watching. You'll get what you need. If you're called to watch this, then there's a message in here for you, and you're going to get exactly what you need from this transmission. And today we're also going to be doing a different type of light language transmission. Usually we say, you know, I'm doing whatever, Pleiadian, I'm doing fairies, I'm doing whatever. Today we're doing a new one called Ultralight. It is straight from Source, Creator, God. I was introduced to it by Judy Satori, who has been doing light language transmissions and healing for over 20 years now. She's amazing. If you haven't listened to her light language and some of her teachings, she just is a really beautiful soul. And all you have to do to speak, if you're interested in speaking light language, is just tune into the language that you want to speak and set the intention that you want to speak it, and it's going to come through. I mean, there's nothing special that you have to do to be able to speak a certain light language. And it's not just for starseeds. I think there's a misconception that light language only has to do with people that are starseeds, and that's not been my experience either. So, all right. So I don't see anybody on, so I'm just going to keep going with the reading right now, because people will come watch this later, I'm sure. And we're going to continue to go on the Believe in Miracles theme. We're reading this month from my book, SHAPESHIFT. This is the Shaman's Awakening series. And if you're not familiar with that, let me just read the description so we're clear on kind of the energy that we're working on with this. This is the energy for the month of November, which what we do here is I take a book that I've written. Each month I pick a different one based on what my guides share with me is the theme for the month. And then I just read from that in passages or as part of readings. And we always get the message that we need from the book that we've chosen, which is, of course, how our guides and angels and all that want that to work out for us. So this book is, what if you were told by angels that you had been chosen to go on a spiritual journey? A journey where you would lead and inspire others to do the same. What if you had no idea what you were doing, but you trusted anyway? In this short story of the first in the Shaman's Awakening series, we meet Tatiana Gallegos, shaman and medicine healer of a small village. She has been chosen. Her spirit guides, the angels, fairies, elves, and more will journey with her as she walks the path to her soul's awakening. She doesn't know what this means, but with love in her heart, she is going to figure that out. I think I have to turn my phone. So sorry, people, but I think for Instagram Live, my phone has to be in this setting. There, much better. Sorry, still getting used to how to do this. But I got a cool new tripod for a really good price, so that's working well. So her spirit guides will journey with her. She walks the path to her soul's awakening. She doesn't know what this means. How many of us are going through this right now, right? For you, there's so many newly awakened souls who have no idea what they're doing, what's happening to them. That's really what this book is all about. And so this is just let her experiences assist you in opening to your own true self and personal power. So going on the theme of Believe in Miracles, I'm just going to ask my guides to direct me to something in the book that pertains to this reading. They're saying, oh, we're going back to Elder Council. Okay. So this is, we've opened up to Chapter 5, the Oracle, kind of what we're doing now. Tatian is a shaman. She is of a small village in South America, but she has been told that she's awakening. So she goes to what's called Elder Council, which is a meeting with her guides and angels and archangels and all of that. And they tell her that she is awakening, that she's supposed to help people. So they're telling her basically that she's a light worker, and she's not just helping like people in her village. She's supposed to be like helping the world through the awakening process. And so she's really not sure what that means. And so the passage just says, Elder Council always made her nervous. She never knew exactly who was going to show or what messages, information, or downloads they would have for her. She didn't like the feel of this one. Oh, you'll do fine. Don't worry so much, her guide says, half smiling as he moved aside. This is where I stop, he said. The next part of this journey is all you. But wait, what? You're my guide, she said, wondering why he was leaving. And then he says, well, my guide duties are over for now. And then poof, he was gone again. So this is one of her guides she's just met, but at this point in time, he's stepping aside to let some other guides that are going to talk to her about what her soul's journey is. And true to all form of live videos, there's people outside doing yard work, so we may get somebody by the window who's using a leaf blower weed eater thing. Hopefully not. Then we go on to chapter 5, the Oracle. So they've taken her to a temple, and it says, without stepping over the threshold, Tatian glanced into the room. This is how, when you hear people say we're going to meditate or we're going to journey to Elder Council, this is typically how our guides set this up for us when we go into journey or meditation. There's a long table with many seats around it. She scanned the space and everything seemed fine. She silently stepped over the threshold and inside, and she suddenly felt the need to sit down at the table. Oh, the soft chair felt so good and comfortable. She felt drowsy, fed by the flickering torchlight in each corner of the room. Don't sleep, she told herself. You still don't know what's going on here. The torchlights dimmed down in intensity, and she scanned the room for danger. Nothing. Slowly, she began to see the outline of figures seated at each chair around the table. A slow knowing of this place began to creep in. The outlines became clear now. Half shadow, half figure. She can begin to make out each one. Her guides, some so ancient that their robes only covered space and energy and no form. So they want me to stop here for a second and explain what's happening. So what's happening here for a lot of people is you're awakening to the fact there's something more going on in your life. At some point here, many of you will decide that you're going to take a spiritual journey. When you take a spiritual journey, you're then led to meet some of your spirit guides for the very first time. And it usually happens in meditation. A lot of times you'll find a spiritual teacher or a video or something to help lead you through that process. And you mostly have no idea what's going on. Like you're like totally like excited but scared at the same time because you're just not sure what to expect, especially if you haven't talked to angels or spirits or any of that before in your life, which is what happened to me when I had been psychically awakened like my whole life, like my psychic senses, but I had no idea. I had to remember, because it's not that I had to learn, I had to remember about spirit guides and angels and who they were and how they could help me. And that happened through the experience of a meditation about meeting spirit guides. So they just want me to share that with folks that are watching, that are kind of new to that at some point you're going to want to find out more. For me, it didn't come, like I didn't know I needed to meet guides and angels. It came to me kind of subtly, like sometimes you're led down a breadcrumb trail, and I was guided to find out more about full moon rituals was what I was guided to, was what was interesting me. And through that, I found a spiritual guide who helped me connect with my angels and my spirit guides. So that's what happens to Tatiana. Is she's led to a temple. She meets with her spirit guides, and not that she didn't know who they were, because for her, she'd been working with them for quite some time, but she just meets with them in a new way, and they give her a lot of information that she really wasn't expecting in terms of what was going to happen to her in the future. So how does that go to believe in miracles? So let's just see if there's any other messages they want me to share there. So they're saying it's all about trusting and having faith in yourself. Number one, the number one thing they're saying is that you should have faith in yourself, that you should trust and believe and honor yourself and know that everything is going to work out for your highest and best good. And in the beginning, this is really hard, really hard for people to do. And it's really just a journey of awakening to get to that point of trust. No one can make it happen for you. So, right, you have to go through your own spiritual journey, your own experiences to get to a point where you understand and you come to a strength within yourself after certain experiences that make you believe in yourself more and make you have faith that the universe and your guides and all that are really here on your behalf. They're really here for you, to help you, and to get you through these things, okay? And I think in the last video, I talked about doing some more training videos for people. So I'm still working on that. The very first one I'm going to do is, and because someone requested it, I've been wanting to do it, and I kind of been putting it off. And then as Spirit always works in magical ways, they sent me someone who made a couple of comments on my YouTube videos asking me to do a clearing video for folks. And I do think that that is very, very important, is to clear and shield your energy every single day. Clearing your chakras and shielding your energy. So I'm going to do a light language chakra clearing and shielding video for everybody that I'll be posting up on YouTube. And I'm also going to be putting the free download of the MP3 on my website. So I'll probably be working on that this week, and I'll announce to everybody when that's, when that's available. So that's exciting. Weird. Sorry, just something so weird. I never realized there's like magnets in my laptop. So this little thing is made of metal, and I just go to set it on my MacBook Pro keyboard, and there's like a magnet there. Like, who knew? I don't know what magnets, what does magnetism have to do with this reading? Because everything that happens in a reading is part of the reading, okay? That's one of the things you learn about if you're going to become a psychic. One of the things you're taught is everything that happens when you set sacred space, like this guy with a weed eater blower, everything that happens is part of the reading. So magnets and magnetization, I'm going to let him get by here. I don't know how loud it's going to be. Kind of far. Magnets and magnetization are part of this reading because they're saying that there's a polarization going on. Now he's right here. Sorry. Oh, well. There's a polarization going on the planet. And more people are being drawn to the light than ever before. And this is by divine compromise. I've never heard that one before. And divine purpose. And it's just time in the Earth's ascension walk for this to happen. So more and more souls are being drawn away from negativity and fear and drawn to the light. So more and more people are going to be seeking out advice, spiritual help, guidance to try and figure out like what's happening, what that means to them, and how they can better understand what their part in all this is. Because everybody's got a part to play. If you signed up for a spiritual journey, then you made the decision and choices before you even incarnated as to what you were going to do and be in this lifetime. And you're slowly being drawn there, even if at times it feels like you're not going anywhere. It's all part of the purpose, all part of the plan that you helped create. Okay. So now we have a dog. Now we have my dog barking in the background. All right. Other things that wanted to be a part of this journey today were deer. This is a jawbone from a deer. Everyone freaks out about it because of the teeth. The teeth. So deer is a very sensitive creature, very divine feminine. The majority. This is a female jawbone. This is divine, representative of the divine feminine. The hind, for those of you that follow that. And then raven, crow, which is also a messenger from the underworld and more of the dark side of things, more of the shadow work. And that's really what the spiritual journey is all about. Or the majority of it is healing your shadows so that you can come more into the light. And shadows is just the things about yourself that need to be healed. The ways of being that are patterns of negativity that keep you from living in your highest joy and your highest light. And it's just it's a work in progress. And I've consciously been on this spiritual journey since like 2013, I would say, just consciously aware that that's what this was since 2013. And so I'm still doing shadow work 7 years later. So it doesn't end. It's like a layer and layers and layers and layers and layers of work. What you're ready for at the time is what you work with and what you heal. Divine feminine and the hind all have to do with developing your intuition, and your psychic abilities kind of come online more as you go deeper into your spiritual journey. More and more parts of your psychic abilities start to open up to you. Your clairaudience, your clear sight and vision, your knowingness, your sensitivity, all of that. So these are just messages from these spirit animals if you're interested in spirit animals. Deer or hind and raven. Now I am just going to, this is kind of like, I want a peace pipe really badly, but I don't have one right now. So this is just an herbal pre-roll. It's not a cigarette. It's pre-rolled with herbs. Some of them for healing. It's got Damiana in it. It's called, this one's called Sensual Smoke, but it's got Damiana, but it has a lot of herbs for anxiety and relaxation of your physical body. There's no CBD in here. I don't have the little card. They wanted me to bring the little card and I didn't bring it, but it's got, I can, if you guys are interested, I'll post the link. It's Garden Fairy makes these. You can make your own too. There's other people that just sell the herbs and then you can make your own, roll them yourself. It's probably a little bit cheaper. So this is just for relaxation, just to relax into your journey. So the reason this showed up is normally I don't smoke online, but this is all just ritual work here. This is not anything beyond that. But the reason this showed up is because folks, a lot of anxiety comes at the beginning of a spiritual journey. Like your ego is freaking out because it doesn't want to die to the, basically like die to the real you. And I remember when I first started awakening, I had a lot of anxiety. I didn't know what was happening. And it's your ego is freaking out because it knows that it's going to end up like a little tiny part of you and not the one that is the all overarching taking control of you part. And so there's, you kind of have to find ways to work with that anxiety and work with your ego and become better friends with it so that you can work as more of a team. And there are times when it is good to work with your ego self and your ego mind, but as you are more awakened along the path, along the journey, you need to access that less and less, and you'll come to a point where you'll start to live from your heart and your sacred mind, which is a marriage between God and your mind and your heart. And there'll come a point where the majority of the decisions and things that you do will be coming from how you feel in your heart about doing things, and less about your ego trying to scare you into doing something that you don't want to do, or that it wants you to do to falsely protect itself. Yes, hi. Yes. Is it Tamaya, Love and Light? I saw your comment, and before you got here, I just said I'm going to make that, and I've been wanting, you came along, right? You're like my confirmation. So for a while, I've been wanting to do that, a light language for clearing. So because every day, I think we should be, what I do, and I think we should be clearing our chakras and shielding our energy every single day. And so I wanted to make a light language, chakra clearing and shielding video for everybody. So I'm going to work on that this week. So thank you for your suggestion. And I'm on live on 2 different places. I'm on Instagram and on YouTube, which is why I'm looking back and forth right now. But right now you're like the only one on, although I know more people will watch this later. But hold on. So I'm going to work on that this week. I'm going to post it on YouTube, but I'm going to put a free MP3 download on my website too, so that, because I think it's just easier that way. If you don't want to have to go to YouTube every day, because I have one that I really like from somebody else that I use every single morning, and I just downloaded it to my phone. So every morning before I even get out of bed, I just play it, and it's like 10 minutes long. So, and then you're ready for the day. So, all right. So our theme for this reading was Believe in Miracles. My little bottle cap, which it's backwards anyway, you can't see it. We had Raven and the hind, the deer, show up for this reading. All my plants always want to get in. Like, plants had me carrying them from other rooms into this. When your tools know that you're going to be working with other people, like everybody wants to be a part of the party. So this rose bush, it's really cold outside here right now. So all of my plants had to come inside, but rose bushes really, so that's all about boundaries. And it's very interesting the way I place them, they're kind of like this on either side of me, which we're still in the 11/11 Stargate energy from yesterday, which is just a reminder that you can still tap into that energy if you are interested, if that's part of your path. You just need to set the intention to tap into those, tap into that light and tap into those freedom codes. But roses are also about boundaries, which is just what we're talking about, clearing and keeping away negative energy. And that's what their thorns and stuff, like, they're beautiful, but they also have good boundaries. So that's why the roses always want to show up. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is some light language for this full moon. This one is, I mentioned it earlier. So this is a lot of times we say the light language is from somewhere, like the Pleiadians, Arcturians, fairies, whatever. So this one is called ultralight. This comes straight from God, source, creator energy. I was introduced to this by Judy Satori, who has been doing light language transmissions and healing and spiritual teaching with folks for over 20 years now. She's a really amazing and beautiful soul. And so she started talking about, she could feel this light language coming in. And then I was like, I want to do ultralight light language because it sounds so different. Very pure source energy light language. And so I just set the intention to do it, and then I just could tap into that. So we're going to bring that forward for everybody. Now let me just see, excuse me. Let me just see, Archangel Michael is here, and I just want him to kind of share with us like how this light language is going to benefit everyone. So he's saying this is a healing and clearing of chakras. This is going to be a reset light language for those of you that need it. It's going to reset your chakra system to the highest dimensional love and light available to you right now in this moment. And then it's going to open up. It's a spiral. So this light language comes in, if you can see light language, this one comes kind of in a spiral formation. And so he said it's going to kind of spiral through you and clear out all the old that you no longer should be holding on to, and open you up to all the new that is part of the blessings of this full moon. Sometimes people can feel the light language of the effects of it right away as it's being transmitted. And other times it takes sometimes like a 24 to 48 hours before some of you might slowly start to feel it unfold and start working its magic. So let me just, that smoke that I was doing kind of made my throat dry. Okay. All right, so to get ready for this, just kind of get relaxed. You don't have to have your eyes closed, but if you want to be in more of a receptive posture, just kind of close your eyes and take a deep breath, and just set the intention that this transmission is for your highest and best good, that you are open to receive the healing and the activation that it has for you. Kurunta karutus kurunma arakanur baradut kutnya aringanuraga graguru regera yinya anyo yinya hanya ginyo kimiaru turin kojingan gan mana guru kepekitadan dutu hinya orin onya ainge skrunya harine rotol nya hanya onya oyo unya oya hoyo nya ai nya ri kahara di udu manya hari di uskiri di hari di manya ange ya honya onya anya urinya ai Henya honya oi he hunya ranya hunya ainya hoya henya hoi henya ma I arin unya oi urin oi kuin oi hoi ma Holy he hi he hi hey 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 hoy 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 Whoa. There's still more, I think, that wants to come through here. Just hold on. So that was more native shamanic. You get this Navajo WINDTALKER light language. This is really what wants to come through. So just let it come through. They mainly come in to do heart clearing, so it could get a little emotional here. Okay, here we go. Okay. Oh, that one gets me every time. they call it like, they call it like grief talk. And it just goes right in there. For me, it goes right to the heart. And if you've had any past lifetimes, if you believe in past lifetimes, if you have any past lifetimes like in the native, as a Native American or whatever, a native, I don't know how you want to call it, but native soul, man, those just really go right to the heart. Yeah, they're saying it's like wounded warrior kind of light language. Like they sing it, they would sing it to like bring home their wounded warriors who would go out and, you know, battle with others, and then welcoming in the dead and sending like souls that had passed in battle on to the light. That's what, what's that? That's what always what that light language kind of seems to be doing there. And for us, any souls around you that have recently passed that are kind of lingering, this is just spirit speaking. So anybody with souls that are kind of lingering around them that need to go on to the light are being sent to the light with that light language. And just kind of freeing you from any burden of having to hold on to others' energy that you shouldn't be holding on to is basically what they're saying. Thank you. Okay. Whew. All right. So I said I was going to draw bottle caps for whoever's on. So Samaya, I think you're the only one on right now. So if you want me to do a little mini reading for you, if you want to just let me know in the comments, I'll draw a bottle cap and see what Spirit has to say for you. Haha, you asked just as I was saying that. I love this. All right, so let's see. These bottle caps are kind of loud. All right. Okay. So you got thank a friend. I don't think you can see it because I think it's backwards, but it says thank a friend. So let's just see what that means. Thank a friend. So they're saying there's others in your life that are reaching out to you right now that you may not be aware of, like people that want to be your friend, because you have kind of been like on a lone spiritual path for a while. And there's people that reach out periodically and kind of want to offer their friendship, but you're kind of reluctant to take it only because you've been hurt in the past by others. And they're saying it's okay to drop your guard down a little bit, that it's fine to be on a lone spiritual path and on a lone path. There's nothing wrong with introversion or being an introvert. But there's also times to reach out, especially that they're saying, especially for help when you need it, that asking for help is hard, but we also have to balance the introversion and the wanting to be alone with a little bit of friend time. And so there's those that have been reaching out kind of, I just see like a hand being offered out, but you've kind of been like, not no, but kind of been like, I'm not sure like if I should do this or not. And your guides are saying that this is all divinely orchestrated. Those that are coming to you kind of offering something, that it's okay to take from them every once in a while. It's okay to accept these things that they're offering. That not to see it in a bad way. You still want to be true to you and to your boundaries that you've set for yourself, because you can tend to get really emotionally attached to others like very quickly. But that it is okay to let that guard down every now and then and reach out to others. And it could be online, it could be in person, but they just keep saying like, it's okay to let your guard down. But to still be true to you. So I think they're just asking you to find a balance of maybe putting yourself out there just a little bit more, especially to those people who may be like offering you something, but at the same time, you know, knowing when to keep those boundaries strong and not get too energetically connected to folks. So let me see if there's anything else. So they're saying, no, that's it. That's what you need to hear right now. So, okay. Let me see if there's anything else. Okay, so that's it. So they're really stressing listening to the light language as many times as you feel like you need to. Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you. I think that's it. And it really feels like I've only been on a few minutes, and I've been on like 40 minutes. So I think that's all. They want me to draw one more bottle cap for the collective to go with this miracles theme. Okay, high five to wellness is our last message for today. So, oh gosh, nobody ever wants to hear this. So right now there's a big detox going on of emotions, physical, mental, a lot of mental emotions. So the collective being is being filled right now with a lot of people releasing a lot of things mentally they're not always releasing it into the light, right? Because everybody's not on a spiritual path, and a lot of people don't know how to work with energy. So there's a lot of detox going on around us, which is why we're being asked to continue to clear and shield our energy, and just make sure that our energetic boundaries are very clear, just like the message to me that you just got. Everyone's doing, I guess, the best that they can with what they have. But if you're a light worker, if you're sensitive to energy, like all these people releasing all this stuff around us, we can easily get bombarded with that energy that we don't want, right? So it's important to stay up with your spiritual practices. Make sure you are keeping yourself grounded and shielded. And it's not like we're like PTSD, like on the lookout for bad things to constantly be coming at us. This is just good spiritual practice to keep your energy clear and keep yourself shielded. And then once you've done that, you can just be in the peace and harmony and know that you're shielded. Your guides have your back. Your angels, your spirit guides are taking care of you, and they're watching out for you as well. So remember to thank them in gratitude for the work that they do to keep you safe and keep you shielded. But it's also your responsibility too to make sure that you are doing that for yourself. So this video that I'm going to be creating for you, if you're interested in that, will help with that too. You just have to make sure you do it every day to kind of keep everything in balance. So they are giving a high five to those of us that do. So everybody that's watching this, the majority of you do keep up with that spiritual practice. Some of you, they say, need a little reminding every now and then that it still is very important. Some people have gotten a little bit lax with that part of the practice because they feel like it's a little bit like I'm advanced and I don't need to do that anymore, which is not true. So just make sure you're continuing to do that, and that your guides have got your back there. So remember to thank them for that. Ancestors are coming in really strongly right now this time of year, and they're also saying they're watching out for us the ways that they can, the best way that they can. Many of them are our spirit guides now and have gone into the light to do service as angelic light beings. And so many of them have come back and are very close to us from more of an angelic perspective than just like your great aunt Linda or something like that. I mean, they're there from a more heightened vibrational perspective than just the deceased loved one you used to know. So just know that they are watching out for you too. So I'm going to go ahead and end this now because I feel like it's been on for a while. My dog's probably out there tearing something up. So she's a 6-month-old Catahoula, and she's still like a baby. So if she has separation anxiety, I think she was taken away from her mom too young. So if I leave her alone for too long, she gets mad. Oh, yes, they are. They are. So let me see if there's any other messages for us. If you missed this video, if you just joined, because I think we have a couple of people that just kind of joined at the very end, there was some amazing light language. I would go back and watch from the beginning if you have a chance. And, you know, I'd like to do these lives more often now that I've figured out how to do YouTube live, so we can come on and do more mini readings for folks. So I want to thank everybody for listening now, or if you're listening later. Namaste, love and light to you, blessings. And, you know, I'm here too. I'm here in spirit as part of our little spiritual community on YouTube and on Instagram. I don't work with people individually anymore because I'm doing some other things now, but I am here. Just know that, my love and light is showering down on all of you as well. So I appreciate you and love you for being part of this community. And I thank you very much. You're welcome. Namaste.